Mac Mclung was ranked as the 23rd best combo guard in the 2018 college basketball recruiting class, so where are the 22 guards ranked higher than him now? Well, to start, just one spot ahead of him at 22 was Xavier Johnson, coming out of Arlington, Virginia, who committed to play for Pittsburgh. And with the Pittsburgh Panthers, he was truly amazing there for 3 seasons, being named to the ACC All-Freshman team. After this, though, he transferred to play for the Indiana Hoosiers, where he was solid there for 3 seasons, but still went undrafted in 2024. And he last played for the Rip City Remix. And coming in at number 21 is Jermaine Kusnar, coming out of East Chicago, who committed to play for South Carolina. And he was an amazing player at South Carolina for 3 seasons, but decided to enter the transfer portal and was a 4-star transfer, transferring to play for the Oregon Ducks. And he was a truly amazing player with Oregon for 2 seasons, being named a second-team All-Pac-12 selection, but still went undrafted in 2024. And he's yet to play in the NBA, currently playing in the Greek Basketball League. And cracking into the top 20 is Dwayne Washington, coming out of Chatsworth, California, who committed to play for Ohio State. And he got better at Ohio State every single season, becoming a solid player for the Buckeyes for 3 years, but still went undrafted in 2021. And he signed with the Pacers and has seen some playing time in the NFL, but is now currently bouncing around leagues. And coming in at number 19 is Ty Fagan, coming out of Thomastown, Georgia, who committed to play for the Georgia Bulldogs. And in his 3 years at Georgia, he was just never really that good. So in 2021, he transferred to Ole Miss and was just overall a bust of a college football recruit. And at number 18 is Jordan Lathan, coming out of Grandview, Missouri, who committed to play for UTEP. And he played 2 years at UTEP before transferring to Milwaukee, where he was solid for a year, and then transferring to Morehead State, where he had an amazing senior season, but went undrafted and is now currently a certified tower climber. And at number 17 is Anthony Nelson, coming out of New York City, who committed to play for Seton Hall. And he was a complete bust at Seton Hall for 2 seasons, transferring to Manhattan, where he was a solid player for 3 years, but never made it to the league. And coming in at 16 is Ignas Saragunas, coming out of Lithuania, who committed to play for Georgia. And he was a complete and total bust, playing 1 season at Georgia before transferring to Colorado State, where he never played, and he's now currently playing in a Lithuanian basketball league. And cracking into the top 15 is Dwayne Cohill, coming out of Cleveland, Ohio, who committed to play for Dayton. And he didn't do much of anything in his 2 years at Dayton, so he transferred to Youngstown State, where he was solid there for 2 seasons, but never made to the NBA and is now currently playing in Slovakia. And coming in at number 14 is Marcus Ziagrowski, coming out of Hamilton, Maine, who committed to play for Creighton. And he was a truly amazing player with Creighton for 3 seasons, being named a first-team All-Big East selection and a 2-time honorable All-American. And this allowed him to be selected in the second round of the 2021 NBA draft by the Nets, but sadly he never played at all in the NBA and is currently bouncing around leagues. And at number 13 is Trey McGowens, coming out of Chatham, Virginia, who committed to play for Pittsburgh. And in his first 2 years with Pittsburgh, he was a great player, but in 2020, he decided to transfer to Nebraska, where he was solid for 2 years, but never made to the NBA and is now currently an intern at Paths to Wellness. And coming in at number 12 is Myron Jones, coming out of Georgia, who committed to play for Penn State. And he became a lethal scorer with the Nittany Lions for 3 seasons, so he transferred to Florida in 2021. And overall, with the Gators, he just never really did that much, never making it to the league, and is currently playing in Kosovo. And at number 11 is Jalen Carey, coming out of New York City, who committed to play for Syracuse. And he was a bust at Syracuse for 2 seasons, so he decided to transfer to Rhode Island in 2020, where he was also very bad and is now currently a basketball coach. And cracking into the top 10 is Noah Kirkwood, coming out of Maine, who committed to play for Harvard. And in his 3 years at Harvard, he became a lethal scorer, but sadly went undrafted, never playing in the NBA, and is now currently playing for St. Quentin. And coming in at number 9 is Eric Ayala, coming out of Bradenton, Florida, who committed to play for Maryland. And he got better every single season at Maryland, becoming a pretty solid scorer for them, but still went undrafted and is currently playing in the European leagues. And at number 8 is Cormac Ryan, coming in New York City, who committed to play for Stanford. And he was solid at Stanford for 1 season before transferring to Notre Dame, where he was very good there for 3 years, and then played his final season of college basketball at North Carolina, where he was also solid. Sadly, though, he never made it in professional basketball or the NBA, is now currently a business analyst intern. And coming in at number 7 is David Duke, coming out of Providence, Rhode Island, who committed to play for Providence. And he got better every single season at Providence, becoming a pretty good scorer, as he was named to the second-team All-Big East team. Despite this, though, he's still on undrafted, but has seen playing time in the NBA and has been a very good G League player. And at number 6 is AJ Lawson, coming out of Ontario, who committed to play for South Carolina. And overall, in his 3 years at South Carolina, he was an extremely good player for them, being an All-SEC team selection. Despite all this, though, he went undrafted in the NBA, bouncing around many different leagues and teams, and is currently playing for the Toronto Raptors. And cracking into the top 5 is Elijah Weaver, coming out of Florida, who committed to play for USC. And he was a solid player at USC for 2 seasons before transferring to Dayton, where he was also solid, and then finished up his college basketball career at Chicago State. Now he's currently the founder and coach of SQ4 Elite Training. And coming in at number 4 is Javonte Smart, coming out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, who committed to play for LSU. And he was both a great defender and scorer for the LSU Tigers for 3 seasons, but still sadly went undrafted in the NBA, bouncing around many different leagues and teams. And overall, he's just never really done that much in the league. And cracking into the top 3 is Ayo Dosunmu, coming out of Chicago, Illinois, who committed to play for Illinois. And in his 3 years of college basketball at Illinois, he absolutely dominated and was one of the best players in the entire nation, as he be named a consensus first-team All-American. And this allowed him to be selected in the second round of the 2021 NBA draft by the Chicago Bulls, where he's overall been a pretty solid player for them for the last 4 seasons. Coming in at number 2 is Quentin Grimes, coming out of the Woodlands, Texas, Texas, who committed to play for Kansas. And he played 1 year at Kansas before transferring to Houston, where he was truly amazing for 2 seasons, becoming an All-American and the AAC Co-Player of the Year. And this allowed him to be selected 25th overall in the 2021 NBA draft by the Clippers, and he's bounced around many different teams, but has been a solid rotational player in the league. And at number 1 is Anthony Simmons, coming into Bradenton, Florida, who committed to play for no one as he decided to skip college basketball. He instead was selected 24th overall in the 2018 NBA draft by the Portland Trail Blazers, where he's slowly been getting better every single season and is becoming one of the better scorers in the league.